When I came to the Rye Y, there was very little hope and a lot of desperation in my life. My husband went in for carotid artery surgery to prevent a stroke, and he stroked out. He was in a coma for 3 days. He could not recognize his whole left side. We were told he would be in an institution the rest of his life. About 6 months passed, and I met this man that was a stroke survivor. He belonged to the Rye Association of the Handicapped at the Rye Y, and he suggested that we come up and take a look. And we did. We were very welcomed. We were very pleased with what we saw and very encouraged. We had some hope. We never missed a class. It was on Monday and Friday, and it was in the pool at the Rye Y. And it was just like we were home. I mean, there was hope. There were caring people. People just so wonderful. Everybody at the Y knew your name. They welcomed you. Still to this day, I walk in and they say, "Hi, Dottie, how are you?" And, you know, and as a result, my whole life changed. Everyone cares. And it's so encouraging and so, I'm trying to find a word for it, promising. It gives you hope for life. You see people coming in wheelchairs in the snowstorm. I have an MS patient that we bring down on the chairlift. We get her off, and she swims on her back up to the upper end of the pool. Where can she get this exercise anywhere else? I mean, she would just be sitting in a chair her whole life. The Y supplies us with the pool and with our instructors and with our coffee room. We have a private room. Anything we need, the Rye Y is there for us. The heart is open to us, and we really appreciate it. Anything I could do for the Rye Y, I would do, because they changed my life so much.
We have quadruplets. Right now they're 8 years old, and when we started the Rye Y they were 2 years old. The Rye Y has really helped our children to grow up beautifully. We will always be grateful. They teach them, besides teaching them gymnastics and swimming and camp, they teach them values. The counselors are always very top-notch counselors. They want to be here, they're young and enthusiastic to play with the children and to love the children, and the children can sense that and feel that. So when we drop them off, we know they're going to have a fun, safe, healthy day. We don't want to be anywhere else. Every year we come to the Rye Y, and they're growing up here. I think one day when they're 15 and 16-year-olds, they'll be the counselors greeting the kids, and we'll pay it forward.
When I was sitting in that chemo chair, I could only think about, how do I get out of this? How do I feel better? I'm so weak. So I was surfing the web, trying to see what would help me. I came upon the Y, and I saw the Live Strong program. When I read about it, I said, 12 weeks free? How could that be? It was 1 month after my chemo, and I was so glad that I did. Everybody was at a different stage of their cancer. I was probably the weakest one in the group. I was really very weak. The instructors would give me alternative moves for the exercises. When they were doing an exercise where you step up on a stair and then step down, I could not do that. And the instructor, Sally, she put her hands out and held them for me to bring me up on the step and bring me back down. And it was just so comforting that it wasn't like I was different than anyone else in the group. We were all in the same situation, and everyone was very supportive of each other. Everybody knew the way I felt because they felt the way I felt once upon a time And it just made it so easy to be there. And I needed to be there. Everyone had the same goal. They just wanted to be healthier, physically and mentally. And the Live Strong program does that for you. It truly does.
When I walked in to Live Strong, they were very welcoming, they were very open-armed, they were very encouraging, and I think that it made me feel good. I'm like, okay, you know what, I'm going to get through this. I like the fact that the Live Strong program had all the people with you know, going through cancer treatment. They were all coming through their rehabilitation. We're all in the kind of same boat. And I felt so secure because I'm like, you know, I can't go up on the treadmill. I can't do what all these other people are doing. So it made me feel empowered. I absolutely benefited from that, emotionally, physically, socially, and it made me want to go back in because I wasn't alone. I think if I didn't have that component, I didn't have that feeling of empowerment with like these other women were, I don't think that I would be where I am now. There's no way.